Don't y'all just love it whenever companies get the gay guy to review these titillating games? It's the second time that's happened this year, but I love the first one that I reviewed, and this one here seems to follow suit too. Now, if you've been following me for like any length of time, then you know that I'm a fan of all sorts of different RPGs, especially those that have gorgeous, uplifting, bright, cheery graphics. But even though I am old school, sometimes I gotta get with the times too, and I have been known to dip my feet into that mobile pool before. So today, I do want to introduce you to another pretty cool mobile game, Echocalypse, the Scarlet Covenant, which is free to play for mobile and PC, and it is today's sponsor. Right now, they are having an anniversary sign-in event where you can get 30 super rare girls for free, and for a limited time celebration, they've also increased the probability of drawing those rare girls of 40% too. Now, full disclosure, I don't take every single sponsorship that comes my way. In fact, I actually reject more sponsorships than I actually accept. And I always do make sure that I can be as honest as humanly possible whenever I do make these videos. And also, I do want to let you know that I didn't get anything like extra for doing this. I didn't get any sort of like special bonus pulls or draws or anything else like that just because I'm the creator. I went through and I played this game exactly the same way as any of y'all would. And I do think that that's worth a sub, as I do try my hardest to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And with your help, your like, and your sub, I just know that I can get there. So thank you so much for that. And now, with all that out of the way, let's deep dive into this garden of earthly delights. I had heard about this game before I was actually reached out by the company to cover it. Like I said before, I'm interested in all sorts of different kinds of RPGs. So I figured, why not? I wanted to play it anyway, so this would kind of like kill two birds with one stone. And if you're like me, and you love all sorts of different RPGs too, then I do urge you to go ahead and please click on the links below in the video description and the pinned comment to come and join me in the fun. Not only that, but I also have a gift code that you can use, which you can see right here on the screen, and you can redeem it for some pretty sweet stuff. There are two pretty big reasons to play this game. I mean, those two reasons come out and kind of like knock you out in the face right from the get-go. You just can't avoid those two reasons. And those two reasons are obviously, number one, it's great story, and number two, it's fun combat system. What do you mean you were thinking of two other reasons? Get your mind out of the gutter, for God's sakes. This is a family channel after all. Won't somebody think of the children? Anyway, now that those children are protected and cloisters off from the big bad boobies, let's talk about the game. This is a turn-based idle RPG, and what that means is that you have two options of how you want to play it. You can let the game take over during the battles, and it kind of like plays itself. Or you can take direct control over the battles yourself, and you can play it more like a turn-based RPG. It's completely up to you. However, you're definitely going to want to pay attention during the main storyline missions, because those battles are harder, and storyline sequences do occur during them. The story does not stop here. Personally, I thought this was like a great little time sink to play while I was at the gym. I mean, I go there pretty often, so it was super easy to like grind up my levels and stuff like between sets or do the story missions whenever I was like on the cardio machine, so I figured, why not? I can waste some time with this. But that's not all. I also kind of found myself playing it on the side while I was relaxing with Ken and also watching TV. Then, whenever I really had time to dedicate it, I would come back on into the main missions to continue the story, level up my characters, distribute new equipment for them, and just kind of like upgrade them in general. I really do enjoy tinkering around in the menus of games like these, because there's always something new to see and do, and this is no exception. There are treasure chests that you can unlock that cool down based upon a timer, various kimono girls that you can draw, a work agency as well as accommodations that you can build up for your girls, and then you can kind of like set them loose to go through and collect them for you. It kind of works similarly to that fairy village did back in Breath of Fire 3. There's even a dormitory that you can set up and decorate to your heart's content. There's so much that you can see and do in this game besides just like the normal main storyline and combat, so I could really see myself getting lost into this world. Then there's a new girl introduced here in the anniversary celebration, Demonica. And my god, look at her, she's bodacious. I don't think I've seen a more titillating example of a woman in a JRPG yet. She's just something else, isn't she? Now, I can be pretty picky, but I do love the art direction here. It's definitely going to be giving gamers what they want, I can say that much. And the girls are varied too. You will definitely find the perfect girl for you to, enjoy while you're here. And while Demonica really shines in your party, it's during the battles that she puts her best features forward. And it really is during these boss fights where the difficulty's ramped up and you're going to need to know the intricacies of this battle system to get along and make it on through. So let's deep dive here. You have formations where you can include up to 6 girls into your battle team, which includes 3 in the front row and then 3 in the back row. You're going to want to put your sturdier characters in the front while your weaker characters shore up the rear. You'll be able to move them around as you do see fit, and while you could just kind of like put the prettiest girls in your party, something else that you might want to take into consideration, and that is their faction. There are 4 different factions, and not all of them get along with one another. So certain SSR characters have like a synergy leader buff, which will greatly increase the power of your girls based upon how many of them share the same faction. For example, if you have like 3 girls of the Bifrost faction, they'll get a pretty decent buff. But if you have all 6 of them as the Bifrost faction, then like they're pretty much nigh unstoppable. Each character has their own rage meter, which builds up over time, and once it reaches its peak, they'll initiate their attack. At the same time, there is a red meter building up on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and this allows you to use your neoliths, which are essentially your limit breaks, and they'll each cost a certain amount of red bars, and then they'll initiate a cooldown. If you're controlling the battles on your own, you can choose which neoliths you would like to utilize, and when you set them off. However, if you let the AI take over, then the computer will use them in order from left to right, and when they're first available. When you encounter a boss, they'll automatically be targeted first, which is great, and you'll also get a chance to look at what attacks they can pull off. All in all, I really do think that this is like the perfect mix between idle and turn-based, with just enough input from you to make it engaging, while at the same time being just enough hands-off that it can be kind of like a little like, whatever, little kind of thing to do while you're at the gym or just watching TV. Now, let's talk about the story. This takes place in a post-apocalyptic land where you play as the Awakener, and you can choose whether to be male or female. I, of course, went with the male, so at least I have some eye candy to look at here. And you and your sister are orphans who work at mining crystals. You don't know anything about like your parentage or your past, and the game kicks off when you and your sister are hunted down by the evil Sparta Empire, who are looking for echo crystals. And it just so happens that you've been mining quite a few of them. But that's because your poor sister is suffering from a crystalline disease, where her skin slowly like scales up and turns into crystals, and that culminates in an epic showdown against her and the Empire, where she encases herself in a crystal to stop the Empire and protect you. Shortly afterwards, you're told about a magical relic which you can use to save your sister's life. So you use your powers as the Awakener to recruit Kimono Girl cases, and together you'll fight to find the relic and save your beloved sister. All the characters are fully voiced, however only in Japanese. And it is unfortunate because some of the dialogue isn't exactly grammatically correct. Most of the things like gender agreements or things like that, they just don't make a whole lot of sense. Otherwise, it is completely understandable. So it's not like the biggest deal ever, but I did figure that I would bring it up. All told, this is a solid entry into the mobile sphere. And if you're looking for something to just kind of like pass the time when you do other things, then this is the perfect idle game for that. That's what it's made for after all. But if you're looking for like, 2 big reasons to play, then this is the perfect game for that as well. So if this piqued your interest at all, and I do hope that it did, please go ahead and click the links down below in the video description and the pinned comment to join in the fun. And also, please be sure to use my reward code to get some pretty amazing in-game content. So that's it for my overview and spotlight of Echocalypse, the Scarlet Covenant. And if you like this video, here's another video that I really do think that you're thoroughly going to enjoy. So please be sure to check that one out. And as always, please leave a like and be sure to comment your thoughts on this game. And have a good day.